Hello everyone, and welcome back to another year of the Anime Villainous Tournament arc. It is 2025. I, as always, am still Chaos in the Sky, and we're back with more Anime Villainous competitive content for you. Anime Villainous has been having its yearly tournament arc. We have been having qualifiers throughout all of June and the very start of July, and they have officially finished, which means it is now time for the main tournament, which, for those of you who've been on the channel for a while, probably remember, will have every single match recorded and put onto YouTube for you to view. Very exciting, very much looking forward to it. Just like in previous years, we have 16 contestants. It's single elimination. I'm going to reveal the bracket in this video, but before we get to the bracket reveal, I'm going to really quickly go over the rules, just for anyone who might be new or doesn't remember from previous years. Anime Villainous, for their tournaments, uses the official draft pick rules. So what happens is you have two people play a game of best of three, so first one to win 2 games. And the way that works is that we will roll a dice to determine who is the starting player and who is the second player. Whoever wins the dice roll gets to go first. Once that's determined, the starting player bans 1 villain, then the second player bans 1 villain, which, by the way, this year we have a new expansion that released compared to last, so there are now 22 villains. The Piercing the Veil cast has been added, so 6 new villains in this year's tournament, even more villainy and hijinks to ensue. But the starting player will ban a villain, the second player will ban a villain. Neither player can choose those villains to play. If it is the first round, so the very first game, each player will secretly pick an unbanned villain from the draft deck, which we have the draft deck here. You pull it out, and it shows we have the card backs of all of the villains. There's 2 Piercing the Veil ones right there to pick which villain they're using. So it's a blind pick. Neither player knows what the other one is going to choose, other than that they can't choose the banned villains on the first game. Every following round, the winner of the previous round must reveal their pick first, and then the loser of the previous round can pick. So, for example, if we play game 1, we both me and my opponent, hypothetically, pick Ainz and Aizen, and then the Ainz player wins, the Aizen player loses. That means the one who played Ainz has to choose his villain, which in this case would be All for One, and upon choosing that villain, it reveals it to the opponent, and then the opponent can counterpick, so they get to pick a specific villain that they want to use against that villain. So it basically gives the one who lost the previous round a little bit of an advantage. The one who lost the previous round also gets to choose if they want to go first or second, typically choosing to go first because going first is pretty good usually. Whoever goes second in each one of the games of the set gets 1 power and can shuffle their entire starting hand into their deck to draw a new starting hand. It's called a mulligan, so they get a mulligan. It's a little bit of an advantage for going second because getting to go first is an advantage in and of itself. So whoever goes second in each game gets 1 power and gets to mulligan their hand once as sort of a bonus for going second to try and make the game more fair. Then the game starts. After the game is over, after they play through it, which during the game they will have a 30-minute timer, as you can see here. Both players get 30 minutes on a chess clock. Your time is ticking down during your turn, and once your turn ends, you click the button, and then your opponent's time begins for their turn. If any schemes happen, then the timer is paused during that. And if any judge ruling has to be done, then the timer is paused during that as well. Anything that requires the opposing player to do something during their turn, like if Light plays Desperate Gambit, which means the opponent has to resolve a fate action, things like that will stop the clock. Otherwise, the clock is ticking down during your turn. There are also penalty minutes. All of the games will be judged. There will be an official judge judging the game to hopefully prevent any mistakes and obviously to stop any cheating. I don't think anyone in this community would cheat. It's mostly if an accident happens where someone does something without realizing that it was an illegal move is typically what stuff like penalty minutes are for, and the judge can award penalty minutes at their discretion. It basically means, like, if you're awarded 2 penalty minutes, then your time doesn't end at 0. Your time actually ends at 2 minutes, so you lose that amount of time. So that is what penalty minutes are, and that is it, I believe. Normal rounds are best 2 out of 3, and the finals will be best 3 out of 5, and that pretty much covers how the official draft rules work for competitive Anime Villainous games. So we don't need that anymore. Goodbye. And just like in the previous 2 years, those are the rules we will be following for 2025. So, without further ado, let's see who our 16 competitors are. We had a qualifier round, like I mentioned earlier. We had about, what do we have? Like, we had 8 groups of, like, 7-ish. We had about 50 participants. Some people ended up dropping out, which happens, life happens and all. But we had about 50 participants. Even after a couple of dropouts, we were probably at least at 45, if not more participants. So, this was the biggest tournament arc we've had thus far, which is great to see. Qualifiers went for quite a while. It was people were put into groups of about 6 to 7 players, and you had to play everyone in your game. And then the 2 people in their group with the best win ratio moved on to the tournament. We had 8 groups for 16 people, and thus here they are. This year we have Butter King, the one of the Annabelle team lead QA. One of the lead QAs. He is the lead QA. I was going to say one of the Annabelle team members, and then I mixed up my words because I'm very professional. By the way, speaking of me being professional, I made this because I didn't want to bother our design lead, Swallet. He's busy working on our next expansion. So I put together all of this little graphic. That's why it looks shoddy. Please clap for my mediocre graphic skills. Thank you. Thank you. But we have Butter King, the Annabelle QA lead, is back, of course, once again, one of the QA members of the team. Then we have Doc McStuffins, a good buddy of mine. I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping he does well. Doc, I'm putting pressure on you. You better I want to see you beat Butter. Get to the end. Beat Butter. Take on all of QA. I'm gonna set it up to where you have to fight QA every round, Doc, and I expect you to beat every single one of them. So Doc McStuffins, good friend of mine. Another team member, another QA member, Falcon is here yet again. As you can expect, all of QA is here because they're very good at the game. So we got my boy Falcon here, one of our QA team members. Dr. Quantum is here this year. I believe that this is his first year. I think he's been in the community for a while, but I don't remember his name at least being in the top 16 last year. I might be misremembering, though. But potentially new blood there, or I should have really checked last year's top 16 to make sure I wasn't wrong on that. D. Gessner, I do know, is returning from last year. I believe he was in the top 8 last year, so he is here once again, still a high-level competitor. He will also be one of our community judges this year, which also Doc is going to be a community judge. I forgot to mention that. D. Gessner and Doc McStuffins will be community judges this year, and then our QA members, Butter, Falcon, Lark, will also be judging. So thanks to all of them for judging this year's tournament arc. After D. Gessner, we have Naomi. I think Naomi is the name that they have in Discord these days. I always know them as Neomi because that's the name that they had when they first joined. Very good, longtime competitor. Been here since... I don't remember if Naomi was in the first tournament arc. I know that she was in the second one, but I also know that she has been in plenty of side tournaments that we have. We have, like, slightly more casual tournaments in the Annabelle server every now and then that we don't make a big production out of, and I know that she's been in those and doing well in them as always. After Naomi, we have another returner, Never Early, another big name from previous years. Again, I can't remember if he was in first year's tournament arc. I know he was in second year's, though, and got into the top 8, if I'm not mistaken. So, very good to see him again. Strong competitor. After that, we have, this is definitely someone new. I think that they joined the community in the past couple of months even. Rat Noise, a brand new name. Definitely wasn't in any of the previous tournament arcs. I would remember the name Rat Noise because it's an incredible name. I don't know how you came up with this name, Rat Noise, but it's a good one. It's a good one. So good to see someone completely new in this year's tournament arc. Potential Dark Horse. Speaking of dark horses, this is the opposite. It's Egg. Egg is a well-known community member, one of the best in the competitive scene, as evidenced by the fact that he won tournament arc last year. So he is back to try and defend his title, essentially. He won last year's, and he's going to try and win this year's, presumably, or he's going to throw. I don't know. He's another good friend of mine. There's no telling what this guy is up to. After Egg, we have, and I'm probably going to butcher however I'm supposed to pronounce this name, Morikune? Morikune. I'm going to go with Morikune, and Morikune, if you're watching this, presumably you are, let me know in the comments if I pronounced it horribly or not. But Morikune is here. Again, I'm not sure. I believe Morikune has been in the community for quite a while. I don't remember if he was in any of the previous tournament arcs. I don't think... He might have been in qualifiers last year, but I don't think he was in the top 16 last year. So another relatively new face in terms of being in the tournament proper. Very cool to see. After that, we have Wako, who I believe has been in every tournament arc, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's been in the top 16 for all of them. I don't think he was in the top 8 last year. I think he was in top 8 the first tournament arc in 2023. But longtime community member, very good player, back again to try and get even further this year than previous. After that, we have Azure Horizon, another returning person. I think I accidentally made Azure's... Yeah, Azur's name tile was slightly smaller than the others. It's because I spawned his in first to make sure that this tile thing would work, and then I spawned in everyone else's. I didn't realize I made his slightly smaller. I'm sorry, Azur. I'm sorry. It wasn't a slight against you, I promise. But Azur is back. I believe he was second place in the first tournament arc, and he was, yeah, because Lark won the first tournament arc, and Azur was second place in that tournament arc, I believe. And he was in the top 8 last year. So again, long-time competitor, long-time member of the community, long-time in competitive in general, and he is back once again. Looking forward to seeing more games from him. Speaking of the first tournament arc, Lark, again, another team member, another member of QA. He won the first tournament arc from 2023, and he was in top 4 along with Butter, Falcon, Egg in last year's tournament arc. So he is back again this year, expecting to see some great stuff from him. I believe that Lark is one of the best players in the game, so very much looking forward to getting to commentate games from all of these people, but Lark especially, again this year. After that, we have Chonk McToaster. Chonk, again, not trying to slide anyone. Your name was too long. I also had to take out the 448 from Azur's name, but your name was just a little too long. I almost had to take out the McStuffins from Doc, but I just barely made it fit. Chonk McToaster. Important to remember the McToaster part, but I just put Chonk on the name for the sake of the brevity is wit or whatever. Chonk is here. I believe Chonk, was Chonk in last year's tournament arc? I don't think he made top 8. I'm pretty sure he didn't make top 8, but I think he might have been in the top 16. He might have gotten out of qualifiers, or he at least partook in qualifiers last year, I think. I might be remembering wrong. I know he's been in the community for a hot minute, though, so I assume he was here last year. But either way, he's here this year. Good player. Looking forward to his games. Next up, we have Kodake. Oh, I really should have checked last year's tournament arc before recording this. I think Kodake was also in last year's tournament arc. Kodake might have been in the top 16, or at least played in qualifiers. I can't remember. But Kodake has done really well in some casual tournaments recently. I know that. So definitely a contender, as everyone is here because they got out of qualifiers. That goes without saying. But Kodake is, I believe, won one of our casual tournaments that someone was hosting in the Annabelle server. So, good player. Looking forward to seeing some games from Kodake. And then last but not least, we have Cole, another person who's been in the community for quite a while. I do not recall if they were in tournament arc last year. I think they might have been in the top 16, or they were at least in qualifiers. Again, my memory is awful. I should have fact-checked all this before. But Cole's been in the community for a hot minute, played competitive for a little while, known as the Queen Barrel player in the server, I believe. But we have Cole here this year in the top 16, made it out of qualifiers. So very much looking forward to seeing how all 16 of these players do. Again, we had about 50 people in qualifiers this year, and these are the people who won the most games out of the qualifiers. They were put into groups of 8, and they had the best differential. They had the most wins overall in each of their individual. They were the top 2 in each of their individual groups. So very exciting. Very exciting. And so now that I have introduced you to everyone and we've gone over the rules, there's only one thing left to do, and it's to figure out who will be going up against who this year. This right here is the third place match, by the way, because we have a third place match, in case you're wondering why was that down there. And this is first, second, third, as you could probably figure out by gold, silver, bronze. Look at me. I'm so clever. Look at my color coordination. I hope that our design guy, Swallet, he's in charge of making Anime Villainous look pretty most of the time. I hope that he's watching this and he is impressed with my incredible line work of these boxes and these funky little backgrounds and all. Please be proud of me, Swallet. I tried my best. We're going to take this and shake it all around. You can hear that shaking going on, which means they're being all randomized up, and we're going to go over here. The games might not necessarily happen in order that you see them here. They're going to happen in the order that I can record them, because again, every single match in this tournament will be recorded and uploaded to my YouTube channel, so you're going to get to watch them all. I'm going to commentate over them all. It's going to be a great time. It's great every year. I'm really looking forward to doing it this year, because not only do we have 6 new villains, but this community just gets better and better and better as each year goes on. New players join the community, and new blood is injected into the competitive scene. People who've been playing for a while get better and better. It's just great stuff. I'm going to hit R a few times just to really make sure that this did get shuffled. All right, here we go. First up, we have Wako. Wako is going to be our first name pulled, and Wako's opponent will be Falcon. Ooh, QA member right off the bat. Will Wako pull off an upset and knock Falk out round 1, or will Falk move on to round 2 and kill Wako's dreams early? That's going to be a good game right there. It's going to be a good one. Next up, we have D. Gessner, one of our community judges this year. long-term community member, as I said earlier. And he will be going against Morikune. All right. So a little bit of a new blood, because I don't think Morikune has been in the tournament proper. Might have been in qualifiers last year. They might have been in the top 16 last year. I don't recall. I don't think they were, though, because I don't recognize the name that well. I recognize the name as having been in the community for a while. I don't really recognize the name as having been in competitive games, though. So D. Gessner versus Morikune. That should be a good one. Next up, we have Kodake, who, as I said, has been doing really well in casual tournaments lately. I say casual, they're still competitive games and all. They're just like, when I say casual, I just mean that we don't like make a big production out of it, record it, and do what we're doing in this. They're still competitive like plays and competitive, etc. It's impressive to win them. And against Kodake, we have Butter King. Ooh, that's gonna be, Kodake is gonna have their work cut out for them, but no one is unbeatable. Butter is beatable, as seen in last year's tournament arc. So Kodake, work cut out for them a little bit, but this is going to be a very good game. I can already tell that is going to be a good game, because I've played against Kodake and they're quite skilled, and I know Butter is one of the best in the business. So that's going to be a fun one. Next up, we have Lark. Ooh, okay, so we have all of QA in one side of the bracket here, which is very interesting. I think that happened in the first year as well. In Tournament Arc 2023, all of QA was in one bracket. But then in last year, I think that, I can't remember, I think it was Falk and Butter were in the same bracket, but Lark was in the opposite one, I think. But this year, they're all in the same bracket, which means we're going to be getting someone who is not a QA member in the finale, which, Tournament Arc 2023, it came down to QA in the finale. Tournament Arc 2024, it was, Egg was in the finale against Butter, I believe, and ended up winning. Lark's opponent will be Doc McStuffins. Oh, Doc. Oh, my poor sweet Doc. I'm so sorry. Doc, good friend of mine. He's pretty good at the game. He's, maybe he'll get lucky. He's going to have a time against Lark. But Doc, what did I tell you, actually? Wait a minute. This is exactly as I planned. Holy cow, I predicted it. Doc, beat Lark, then beat Butter, and then beat Falk and make it to the finals. Doc, it would be the funniest thing ever. Please, Doc. Please make my fan fiction a reality. I beg of you. That would be so awesome. That would be so cool. But all right, now we go on over to the right side of the board here, and let's see who our first competitor in this one will be. It is Niami, otherwise known as Niami. Niami, I always call you Niami. If I need to be calling you Niami, please let me know, but otherwise I'm going to call you Niami until you tell me not to. Niami, again, really good competitor. I think that she got knocked out early last year, actually. She happened to go against Falk, who, again, is another really good player. It's all really good players here. So, anyone can beat anyone, really. But Niami, yeah, just was in the top 16 last year, and I don't think Niami was in Tournament Arc 2023. So those of you who just keep up with the official tournament probably haven't seen it, but Niami typically in tournaments that aren't televised like this, tournaments that we hold in the Discord server and all, either wins them or gets into like the top 4 a lot of the time. So Niami, definitely a force to be reckoned with. And Niami's first opponent will be Azure Horizon. Oh, that is, you can tell that I did the snap points really badly here. Please forgive me. I didn't check them all before starting the recording. Niami versus Azure. Those are two very, very good competitors. Both of them partake in those other tournaments that we hold in the Annaville Discord server every now and then. Like I mentioned, both very good players. I believe they've played against each other multiple times, probably won and lost games against each other. That is going to be, this might be one of the most looked forward to games of round 1, to be honest. I am very much looking forward to seeing these two essentially heavyweights go against each other right out the gate. After that, our next match, we only got 6 more people. We're almost there. Next up, we have Chonk McToaster. McToaster, don't forget, it's Chonk underscore McToaster, by the way. Chonk underscore McToaster, I remembered. Chonk, again, good player, been here for a while. I don't remember if he was in the top 16 last year, but he's been playing for a hot minute, and his opponent will be Egg, the winner of last year. That's gonna be a rough one for Chonk. Egg won last year, so he is a very well-proven player, is one of the best, but that just makes for an even greater chance at an upset if Chonk McToasts Egg. How great would that be? Egg is my friend. I can wish on his downfall. That's going to be a good game as well. Looking forward to seeing how that one goes. I don't even remember what names are left in here, but let's find out. Cole, okay, so Cole we have coming up. And Cole will be going up against Rat Noise, the Dark Horse, the name that came out of nowhere. So Cole, like I said before, has been in the community for a little bit. He's pretty good at competitive, very good at Queen Barrel, I believe is his claim to fame. He's a very good Queen Barrel player. And Rat Noise, joined the server just a couple of months ago and managed to make it into the top 16. So I don't even think I've seen Rat Noise play a game before. So this is going to be very, very exciting to see how those two do. And then, I don't remember what the last two names are, but let's get them out here. We have Dr. Quantum, and we have Never Early. All right, so this is probably going to be a bit of a rough one for Dr. Quantum. Never is, he's well known in the competitive scene. He made it to the top 8 last year. I think he lost to Egg last year, actually. I think it was Egg or one of the QA members he lost to last year. So Never is a very good player, plays a lot of competitive. Quantum, I haven't seen him in very many tournaments, but I might just not have been noticing his name as much. But I have seen him, he plays a lot. He went through qualifiers and did very well in qualifiers. So, again, could be an upset. Someone from the top 8 last year losing to someone who, I don't even know if he was in Tournament Arc last year or not. Could be an upset. Promises to be a great game either way. So, there you have it. Tournament Arc 2025 is all set up. Wako versus Falchion, D. Gessner versus Morikune, Kodake versus Butter, Lark versus Doc, Niami versus Azur, Chonk versus Egg, Cole versus Rat Noise, Dr. Quantum versus Never Early. It promises to be a great tournament. I am very much looking forward to seeing how everyone does this year, and good luck to everyone. Remember, Anime Villainous does involve a lot of skill, but it's also still a card game. You can always get lucky. Anything can happen. So do your best. Give it your all. I look forward to seeing every single one of these matches. I will be commentating over all of them. They will all be uploaded onto YouTube. I wish every competitor the very best, and I hope that, above all else, they put on a good show for all of us, because that's what I'm really here for. Am I right, fellow viewers? But yeah, there you have it. Anime Villainous Tournament Arc 2025. You'll be seeing the first matches uploaded very soon, probably in the next week or two, as we start going through them all. So, very exciting. Looking forward to it. I hope you're all as excited as I am. Until next time, for our first round of Tournament Arc 2025, farewell.